Okay, so you're gonna have to give me a shot tonight.
Yes.
Are you nervous?
Nope. Just gonna wipe it clean and bah!
Ow!
Just like that.
That's on my booty. This episode is going to be a 3-part series. The first part is all about IVF injections. The second part will be about IVF egg retrieval, and the third part is going to be about the embryo transfer after IVF. This is part 1, IVF injections. In this video, I'll also go over what medications I took and how to take them. So if you're more interested in that, just make sure to fast forward to that part of the video. Welcome to Wannabe Mama. The reason why we did IVF is because I did 6 IUIs. I was only able to get pregnant off of the second one, but unfortunately I miscarried a week later, and all the others failed. So the next step for me was IVF. Before I can do the IVF cycle, I had to do what is called a sonohystogram, which is a water ultrasound. They put water into your uterus to see if there's anything in your uterus that would make it so that an egg can't implant. During that time for me, they also did a test transfer. Every uterus is completely different. So they're able to practice on my uterus what to do once they have an embryo to transfer. The water ultrasound was not painful at all. It was really, really fast. After completing that, I scheduled my IVF cycle. Before you start your IVF cycle, they'll have you pay for everything flat out, unless your insurance is awesome and it will pay for it. My IVF cycle, including my medication, was $14,500. And then you will go and purchase your medications. Okay, so this is my big bag full of medicine for IVF. Just know the IVF medication is very expensive. All of these medications, guys, cost $6,606.22. The medications come with all the syringes, the gauzes, the alcohol swabs. The nurses will go over exactly how to take the medication. Again, I will show you how to do it later on in this video. Now, the next step is to wait. Once your period starts, that's when you can call the doctor and they will schedule everything out. When you first start IVF, you'll go in for a preliminary ultrasound so they can see what eggs you have on your ovaries right now. And then the medication that you take will hopefully grow multiple eggs. You hear people having 20 or 30 eggs that are retrieved at the very end. For me, when I first started my cycle, I had what showed around 10 eggs. I asked them so are you expecting more because the medication is supposed to grow more? And she's like, no, we're probably gonna be expecting around what you're showing right now. So if you're showing that you only have 6 eggs on your ovaries, just know that that is what they're targeting for. So they're not expecting any more than what you're showing. And they will give you a chart. For me, it was like a chart that looked like this. And they just tell me exactly on this day, take this medication, this amount, blah, blah, blah. So they map it out for you, so it's super simple. The medication is supposed to be taken every day, the exact same time, and they tell you what medications they want you to take. And then certain medications have to be refrigerated, and some of them can be room temperature. I think I started taking my injections around day 3 of my cycle. So when you take your IVF medication, your ovaries are supposed to get really big and full of all these follicles. Apparently the side effects are supposed to be pretty intense. For me, not so much. I only felt weird things like one day. Because there's so much dosage in those shots that I'm taking. It's like the max that you can take. It feels like I'm getting purple nurples, down in my hoo-ha. Not in my ovaries, just like everywhere else. Those little twingy pains feel like a little tiny purple nurple down there. Also, when you're taking IVF medication, your ovaries get really, really big and they tell you do not work out. Do not do it, because if you're a lucky person and you have a lot of eggs on your ovaries and your ovaries are responding really well to this medication, they'll get really, really big. And apparently what my friend told me when she was going through IVF, her doctor told her your ovaries can get so big that they can turn on top of each other and twist. It's really, really bad and you had to get surgery to fix them. And that happens if you do excessive exercise. And so they don't want you to do anything but walk. Hi, where's it going? What? You going walkies? Even if you're not feeling any massive side effects, just take it easy. It's only for a few weeks that you have to hold off on working out. When you take medication, the day you start is day 1. You'll have blood tests and ultrasounds a couple times before your egg retrieval to make sure the ovaries are doing what they're supposed to be doing. So 5 days after I started taking medication, I had an early morning appointment at my doctor's office where they did an ultrasound and they did blood work and they said that everything looks good. And then they scheduled an appointment for me for a few days later. Day 8 was the last ultrasound that I did. We're headed to my 3rd ultrasound right now, and it's supposed to tell me if my eggs are doing what they're supposed to be doing with all the medication, and it's supposed to tell me if we're supposed to trigger shot ourselves tonight or hold off and take more medication. Andrew, what do you think the outcome will be?
Good.
Yeah? He thinks it'll be good. I don't know. I haven't been feeling any like kind of bloated, but other than that, I haven't felt anything. And last time I only had 2 leading follicles with 8 baby ones. Hopefully the $15,000 we paid so far doesn't go to waste. And they said everything looks good. You have around 4 eggs that are big and maturing. We want you to take the trigger shots tonight, and they'll tell you exactly when they want you to take it. And so you want to make sure that you are there. If they say 6:15, you do it at 6:15, not 6:17 or 6:13, because they schedule everything off of this shot. They want your eggs to release at the exact time when they're taking them out. It's very clinical and I don't know, so I just do what they tell me to do. And the unfortunate thing is that these trigger shots, there's one you take in your stomach, one you take in your upper hip. And unfortunately, you can't, take that one yourself, so you have to have someone help you do it. And for me, that was my husband. The doctor drew a circle on my butt. He drew a bullseye on my booty. I'm sorry, that was funny. For Andrew, so that they can he knows exactly where to put the shot. So it's the trigger shot that he's doing for me tonight. I'm not nervous. I'm kind of nervous. That's okay. He's gonna do great. I was worried that he wasn't gonna be able to do it on time. So my doctor wants me to take the trigger shot at exactly 6:15. He's wiping my butt. Thank you. It's so kind of you. With alcohol. Thanks. Now we have to wait till 6:15. 2 minutes. He's nervous peeing right now. And I was worried that it was gonna hurt. Oh my hell, I'm so nervous. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. And I was worried that he wouldn't know what the heck he was doing. Right in the circle.
Like straight in or like at the side?
Don't, just. You want to go all the way to the base though. Mm-hmm. So all the way to the very end.
She called it the hub.
The hub, all the way to that is what you want to do. Mm-hmm. But I was actually very surprised. He did a very good job. And I think he enjoyed stabbing my butt with a needle. No, wait, yes! Ah! 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 No! Ah! It didn't even hurt. Thank you. You're so nice. That it? Is that it? Yeah. He did it! That's good boys! You'll go in for your egg retrieval around 35 to 36 hours-ish after you take your trigger shot, which will lead me to my next video, the egg retrieval. I'm going to show you guys how to mix all of the shots together so that you know how to do it. And then I'll also link Freedom Pharmacy is a pharmacy you can get a lot of your fertility medications from. So I'll link their training videos as well in the description box below. So if you don't trust me, you can get help from them. I'm going to show you how to withdraw fluid for your IVF medications the simplest way. So sometimes when you're taking the fluid out and if you haven't done anything with the syringe, you start to pull back for the fluid. And sometimes is that it will automatically start pushing in like this. And you're like, no, I want the fluid out, not in. So to avoid that, what you can do is before you put the syringe onto the fluid, you pull back to the amount that you're going to want. So 1 milliliter, for example. Then you put it onto the fluid, you push the air into the bottle, you flip it upside down, and then this is magic, watch. See, it automatically starts pushing itself back, which is pretty cool. So you can help it along, obviously, and you can withdraw your 1 milliliter of fluid. And that way no fluid will get back in or squirt out or whatever, but it's a lot simpler and less stressful when you're trying to mix your IVF medication. So the first shot is Menopur.
Menopause?
Not menopause, Menopur. It comes in a box like this. I threw away the other ones, I had more. So usually there's like 5 of the liquids and then 5 of the powders. But this one is a smaller box. For Menopur, my dosage, your doctor will tell you what to do, but if it's 150 units, you use 2 powders and 1 liquid. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to do that. There's these Q caps, and they're these little things that you screw onto the syringe. So you screw that on, you draw your liquid from these little bottles, and you put 1 milliliter into 1 powder, and then you withdraw the milliliter from this, and you put it into this powder, and you draw the liquid up, and this is what you use. So I'm just gonna show you how to do it. You have your Q cap, and then put it into the bottle, and then you withdraw 1 milliliter of liquid. Don't pull it off like this because this fluid will come out. So pull out like this, okay? Put it into the powder, and then you're going to push this in, let it dissolve all the way, okay? And once it's dissolved, then you flip it back over and you take 1 milliliter out, again, like all the liquid out, and then pull it off, and then you put it on to the powder again. You push it in there, let it dissolve. Then once it's ready and dissolved, you flip it upside down, get the 1 milliliter out again, and then once you have it 1 milliliter, you pull it off, and then you switch this to the little injection needle, okay? And all you do is you screw it on like this, pull the cap off. It's such a baby needle. So if you've taken Avidril before, this is the size of the Avidril needle. It doesn't hurt at all. The Menopur actually does burn a little bit when it goes in, so don't be like freaked out. It just does. And then you want to pinch your stomach, put it all the way to the very, very end, so the hub, and then let it out. The next drug is Saizen. It comes in a box like this with the liquid and the powder. So you have to mix this together. And this one is a human growth hormone. It's like the one I was most excited about. It really helps your eggs have better quality. So I'm gonna show you how to mix it. So my doctor wanted me to do 1 milliliter of fluid, so 1 milliliter of this, and then you put it into the powder, and you only draw back half a milliliter of the powder, and then you put the rest in the refrigerator for the next day. So you kind of get 2 in 1 with 1 box. It's kind of cool. Okay, so you take your liquid, like the trick I showed you, you pull it back to 1. So whatever you want the fluid to be, you pull it back. Then you take the needle, you put it into the liquid, you push the bottle down, you flip it upside down, make sure the needle is in the liquid, and then you pull back and you fill it up to 1 milliliter. Go like this, pull it out. Then you can use your Q cap to mix the water with the powder. So then I take the needle off, screw it off, put the Q cap on, push it into the powder like this. Then you push it down, have it all mixed together, make sure it's all dissolved. And when it's all dissolved, you flip it upside down. And then, like my doctor said, he wanted me to have a half instead of a full milliliter. So I'm gonna pull it back to a half. And then if there's no air bubbles, I'm good. Make sure to flip it over like this, because if you flip it over like this liquid will come out, so don't do that. Flip it over like this, pull it out, replace it with the baby needle like this. And then all you have to do is put this little baby into your stomach, and you do it the exact same time every single day. The box comes not refrigerated, but when you mix the fluid with the powder, this new fluid will be refrigerated until your next time. So do not forget that. The next drug is Gonal F, and it's a pen, and it comes in just like a box. And the box also has these little needles that you screw onto it. So what happens is you take off the pen, you will clean the tip of it with alcohol, and then you screw the needle onto the pen top. Your doctor will give you a dose of how much they want you to take. My doctor at the beginning gave me 450. So 450, so there's like little numbers on this, and you'll just roll it up like that until it reaches 450. Yep, 450. And then when you're ready, you pull this off, pull that off. The needle again is very, very small and it goes into your stomach. And then if you accidentally messed up, like, oh, I was supposed to do 300 instead of 450, you can always roll it back down to the number that you want. It won't mess with anything. Gonal F is stored in the refrigerator. Okay, so that is Gonal F. The next medication that I had to mix was called Cetrotide. It makes it so that you do not ovulate. So you have to take this one at the exact same time every single morning, and they'll tell you when to take that. The mixing it is super simple. When it comes in the bottle, it comes like basically all pulled back like this with the fluid in it. So all you have to do is add the mixing needle. And it comes like this. You put the mixing needle, you put it on top of this, and then the fluid's already in here, and then you take the cap off and you put it into the powder. So the powder is right here, and then you just syringe it all the way down, all the fluid in there. Make sure this one dissolves all the way. The crystals are bigger. So once it's all dissolved, then you want to pull it back, all the fluid out again. And then you put that into your stomach. So you want to switch the needle to a nicer needle. It's smaller. And then you put that into your stomach. It looks big and scary, but honestly, it's not. It's not bad. And that is how you take Cetrotide. The next medication that I had to take is Pregnyl. This is like a souped up Ovidril shot, so it'll make me ovulate. It goes into your hip muscle, not to your fat on your stomach. And the mixing is pretty simple. What you do is you get the big mama needle, and my doctor wanted 2 milliliters pulled back, and then I only use 1 milliliter when I mix it in with the powder. So I am going to take this, put it into the water, draw back 2 milliliters of fluid, and then pull it out. And then this is the powder. And so I'm going to put it in here. There's no Q cap for this, so you have to do it with a needle. So then you put it in here, you press down, and then you let it dissolve. Once it's dissolved, then my doctor wanted me to pull back 1 milliliter instead of 2. So I'm going to pull back to 1. And then once it's done, I pull it out. And then you want to switch it to a clean needle. So you go with a clean needle, you put it on, and then you have your husband put it in your hip muscle. Super simple, didn't even hurt, doesn't burn. And if he goes really fast into your hip muscle, you can't even feel it. The last medication that my doctor wanted me to take was Lupron. They drew this for me at the clinic. So I didn't have to do anything with it. I just had this medicine ready to go. It was supposed to be taken the exact same time as the Pregnyl, so as my trigger shot. It was just super simple. And I put this one in my stomach. Yes, I did it. We're good. That is IVF injections. My next video will be about the egg retrieval. Stay tuned for that. And once it is posted, I will post it up here in the video. You'll see a little swishy thing with the video. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. I am here for you and I answer almost everyone's comments. Thanks for watching Wannabe Mama. Good luck, ladies. You have to go in like, whoo, and then you press it down. So don't like gently put it in because that would hurt.
Okay.
That's what she
So,
said.
poof, and then.